Hello everyone, welcome to the Mint analysis for 15th March 2022. I just wanted to share that the text analysis is already on the group, and in case you want to be a part of my Telegram group, you can join it from the link given in description. So today's highlight is a deep dive into India's crude oil trade with Russia. So why does crude oil trade become so important with Russia? So first of all, we need to understand that India is very much dependent on imports when it comes to oil. So 85% of our demand is met through imports. And although we import it from many other countries as well, which are in Middle East, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, and Southeast Asia, but Russia, from Russia, there is a company Rosneft which has the lowest oil production cost. And to aid in imports of oil, which has already seen rise in prices, we want to import it from the Rosneft as well and some other companies also. So to import that, we will need to have some system for payment as well as for receiving the payments. So for that, right now we have seen that there are swift sanctions, because of which we are not able to receive the payments for the shipments we have already made to Russia. And this bilateral trade that we are talking about, which means the things that we have provided to Russia and the things that Russia has provided to us, for that the whole payment worth $500 million is still outstanding. This 500 is just for Indian exporters. So this 500 million is still outstanding, and we are somehow trying to get it through other channels. And right now we are thinking about various options available to us, and one of them is to set up an Indian bank on Russian soil and a Russian bank on Indian soil. So through this, we will be able to solve the problem of transaction. Or the second thing could be that channelizing the payments through local banks which are there in Russia. So this was highlighted in one of the previous newspaper as well, that we can get it through local banks. But this new one about India setting up a bank on Russian soil is the new one. So these are some ways in which we can carry out the transactions. Now we want to know what is the scope of engagement. So why do we need these to set up a system like this? Because if it's temporary, then why should we incur so much of high cost? So it's that the engagement is very high between Russia and India. So as you can see that there is a company, Indian company, which has invested in a Russian project, which is Sakhalin project, and there is a Russian company which has invested in Naira Energy, which is an Indian company. So these kind of engagements need some payment system through which they can conduct the payments, receive payments. So a transaction system is needed, because of which we are thinking what options are available to us. So this was the highlight. Now next is government plans reform in capital gains tax. So government is planning reform, and it will also boost the revenues of government. So right now what is happening is that there is a long-term capital gain tax and short-term capital gain tax, and the rates currently stands at 10% and 15% respectively. Other than that, there are also so many complexities that the government wants to reduce, because of which they want to have a reform. So this was the first thing. Second thing is that government is saying that the LTCG, the long term capital gain, is taxed at 25 to 30% in other countries. So why does India has so less, which is around 10 to 15%? So this is the second point raised by government. The third is about government's philosophy. So government is saying that the income on from doing business, so the business tax, is around 30% in India, that you can see, and for capital gains, where they don't have so much of risk involved, they are paying much lesser, which is 10 to 15%. Whereas in the case of businesses, first of all, they are carrying the risk, they are paying high tax dividends, and they are also creating jobs. So this biasness should not occur according to government. That's why they are planning to come with a reform on capital gains tax. So this was the news. Next was CPI inflation stays above RBI tolerance level in February. So we have seen that in January it was around 6.01%. In February it has touched 6.07%, and this rise is because of rise in food prices and manufacturing goods. So this led to CPI inflation, and wholesale inflation has also rose, and this is because of rise in prices of energy, metal, and chemicals. So this is the reason. And just to give you a brief background, that government has set the inflation at 4%. However, there are some safety margin of plus minus 2, so which makes it 2% and 6% respectively for the lower cap as well as for the upper cap. And the upper cap, which is of 6%, has already been reached in January itself. Now it is much higher. And you have also seen that for calculating CPI, the government is using a measure which accounts CD and VCD as well, which should not be the case right now. There should have been some modifications done, but that is still continuing. So next is trade deficit guidance in February on soaring crude commodity prices. So as we all know that crude prices were going up, because of which the trade deficit is going up. And the second cause is also because now people are going out, they incur more expenditure on buying crude, so the demand has gone up, and demand has gone up while the prices are going up. So if you are importing in that condition, then the trade deficit will definitely be affected. So because of which there is a widen in Feb. Tata's named Chandrasekaran new chairman of Air India. So you so you must be aware of Mr. Ilkar AC, who was before appointed the new chairman of Air India, but he resigned the offer. He rejected the offer because the parties were saying that some background check should be done on him because he was associated with some mayor of Turkey, or maybe he was the mayor there. So the political background that he had were raised concern over them, and Mr. Ilker said that I don't want to join the firm in such scenario where questions are being raised on me. So that's why he rejected the offer, and now the new chairman named for Air India is Chandrasekaran. Next news is Reserve Bank removes pricing caps for microfinance lenders. So it has removed the pricing of caps on pricing small loans. So now there can be a risk premium that can be charged based on the borrower. That's what RBI has come up with. Next is Adani Group facilities to tap power from Green Co's hydro storage. So there is a agreement between the two where Adani Group will be using the hydro storage by Green Co's. Next is LIC's IPO when government confident of success. So it's a reiteration. This is a repetitive news. So where they are saying that LIC want to come up with the IPO only when they see less volatility in the market, because they want to have some good valuation for the IPO. And this is also because it has already suffered huge losses because of IRCTC, which gained less valuation. Otherwise it was supposed to be valued much more higher, and because of which the investors actually gained a lot when it was listed on the stock exchange. So it doesn't want the same thing to happen with LIC IPO. In case you want to have a detail about it, you can go to my video. I will give the description. I will give the link in the description. So I have made a complete video on it and why government is reconsidering it. Next is trade deficit. We have already discussed it. Tata's we have already. RIL acquires lithium works for $61 million. So here you can see a move of RIL where it is trying to diversify its portfolio and incline it towards clean energy. So RIL is actually investing in a cobalt-free lithium battery technology, and here it has acquired the assets. So in assets, it has acquired the patent technology that is being used by lithium works to manufacture those batteries, and also the manufacturing facility that they have in China. So they have also gained some customer base. Next is key business contracts that they had, hiring of existing employees, which obviously comes with the business. So all these things have been acquired by RIL while purchasing lithium works. And now just for a little scope of these batteries, so these batteries are used in industrial, medical, marine, energy storage, commercial transportation. So you can see that is success or the risk is further reduced because these batteries are used in so many other things, and it covers a wide range of customer base, from medical to marine to energy storage, commercial transportation, which so e-commerce will be using the commercial transportation. So that's a very strong plan, and RIL can expect huge returns from this acquisition. Welspun to invest rupees 1,500 crore on warehousing parks. So here I wanted to highlight that they are particularly investing in warehousing parks, and this sector of warehousing has actually seen an increase in demand from various funds and companies. And this is because during the COVID pandemic, what happened was people were placing their orders online, and e-commerce had their boom, and now they wanted logistic support. So for logistic supports, the companies which owned warehousing facilities, they were benefited, and they also had better returns. So these logistics firms had better returns, and right now they are going to expand into tier 2 cities, because of which these companies like Wellspun is investing in it, because they can see their future prospects. They are going to grow. That's why they are investing such a heavy amount of rupees 1500 crore etc in these parks. Next is Paytm investors do not have access to payments bank data. So you must have came across this news that Paytm has been questioned. There were some audits that were being conducted by RBI, and they were supervisory in nature. So what is happening is that after doing this, the RBI questioned Paytm that you might be giving information of Indian customers that you have to Chinese investors. So Paytm's Chinese investors are actually Alibaba Group Holdings and its affiliate Ant Group. So RBI questioned that you are providing the information of these customers to them, Alibaba Group and Ant Group. So here we have a risk that if they get the information, they can disrupt India, they can take advantage of these circumstances. So the Paytm was questioned. However, Paytm rejected it, that they don't have any access to the information of Indian customers, and right now they are currently seeing, so RBI is seeing into the matter whether it is actually true or not. Next is SFIIs flock away from India, DII saved the day. So as you must have known that foreign investors are pulling out their money because the federal interest rates are going up. There is uncertainty due to Russia-Ukraine war. But what is saving the stock markets to go to the to go down is DII investment, which means domestic investor investment. So they have actually pumped in a lot of money, which is around 95,000 crores. So because of which we are seeing a little stability in stocks. NSE plans to set up an exchange for spot gold. So it means that that investors like us can also see the prices of gold at a real time basis, that what is the price of gold right now, and the exchange would help jewelers, retailers, refiners and banks to trade over a regulated platform. So NSE is a regulated platform, so it will provide a chance to jewelers and retailers and refiners to conduct transaction through a regulated platform. That's the main aim. Next is China's stocks in US nosedive. So what is happening is that US is putting pressure on China to impose sanctions or facilitate sanctions on Russia. However, China has a good relation with Russia, and it doesn't want to do so. So to increase the pressure, US is saying that if you don't do so, we will delist the Chinese stocks that are listed on US stock exchanges. So this has, because of which the stocks has were down, and you can see that how powerful US can become in these situations, and because of which countries are actually concerned about it. So let's see what will happen in the future as well, whether US is going to impose any such kind of thing on India as well, because India also have good relation with Russia till now. RBI removes pricing caps, we have seen that. Tencent faces fine for flouting anti-money laundering rules. So recently, Chinese government has seen that uh, Tencent is having money laundering, is flouting anti-money laundering rules, because of which now they have a case on them, and the work is in progress. However, you have seen that many such cases were in light even in late 2020 and in 2021 as well. So I can recall about this one firm, DD. So be, such firms, some technological firms, were facing problem in China because China was imposing high regulation fines on these companies, because of which some of them actually went down just after their IPO was launched. Some was not able to launch their IPOs beforehand. They faced this regulatory restrictions, because of which the technological sector in China is facing a challenge, and they are not able to utilize their full capacity. So some companies are listed here which face the fines, which also has the name of Alibaba Group, which is the major e-commerce firm. Next is food delivery giant Michua, which also has faced the fine. So let's see how it goes for the tech firms in China, and at the same time when they are facing the threat of getting delisted from US stock exchange. So it's certainly not a good time for tech giants, China-based tech giants. So this is all we have in today's newspaper. If it has helped you, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I have already shared the Telegram group link in the description. Thank you.